good water, good clinic, good road. I think that it is responsible of this government, and I myself, as part of this government, I feel very committed that we have to spend money. We sometimes have to ask those children who are a little bit privileged in urban areas, in good residential areas, to say we have to sacrifice a little bit for our other children and parents living in those areas, so that we can build them to good hospitals, good housing, clean water, and all these needs that they have. I think what is important and good is that there are young people like yourselves who are aware of these issues. I am sure this consciousness that you're sharing with me now is not just in Zambia, but because of the internet, you're sharing it with other children in other parts of the world. And I think that's how the whole world will become a better place to live in.
Honorable Minister, students play a major role to mitigate factors that contribute to an outbreak of infectious diseases, as we have seen from programs like Green Contributors that also address environmental education, health and sanitation, especially water issues. And we enjoy such programs since it enhances our learning and many other skills. What role can the Ministry of Education play to incorporate such type of programs as part of a curriculum, and also help other regular schools also be involved in such global collaborative research projects?
I think the good news is that in the Ministry of Education we've realized we have to relook at what we are teaching in the classroom, that it must respond to the needs of Zambia today and in the future. But also not just Zambia, because again, I've said Zambia is not an island. We are all global citizens now. So what we are learning in class must prepare us for the world out there. And I believe that we can change many things on this earth, but one thing we cannot change is this Mother Earth itself. So we have to look after it. And I believe that we have to begin this consciousness at a very young age in our schools, so that we all grow up appreciating that we should not waste water, we should not waste natural resources such as trees, we should not pollute the air, and that even as we industrialize the way Zambia is doing now, we must not pollute the environment, because we must save it for the future. You are still young, we must save it for yourselves, we must save it for your children, we must save it for your grandchildren and your grand-grand-grand for the future. You are still young, we must save it for yourselves, we must save it for your children, we must save it for your grandchildren and your grand-grand-grandchildren. So that responsibility begins with all of us today. We cannot wait for the future. We have all to begin to do it today, and this is why we are very happy as Ministry of Education to be associated with this big UN agenda to get many young people to appreciate the importance of being a green contributor to the world. It's all our environment. We all breathe in the same air. So as a Ministry of Education, we're reviewing our curriculum, and one of the things we're really going to do is make sure that environmental issues are taught from a very early age, so that we can all be doing the right thing to save our Mother Earth.
To meet the MDGs by 2015, Honorable Minister, the government should create jobs to alleviate poverty. One of the main factors common to many problems. Is government doing anything to alleviate youth unemployment?
Obviously, the young people are the future. Yourselves, you are in school now, and when you leave school, you want a job or a business. It's our responsibility again as government to ensure that we do things, we put measures in place so that when you leave school, you'll have a job or an opportunity to begin a business. One thing that we're trying to do is that in reviewing our curriculum, we want to begin business studies in schools at a very early age. In many government schools, entrepreneurship skills are not taught, so it does not prepare young people for possible business ventures when they leave school. They are always just looking for a job. When one begins a business, you employ yourself, you employ other people, you also create wealth for yourself, but you also create wealth for other people because you pay them, you buy goods and services, and so on and so forth. So that is good for the nation. But also that we must create jobs. We must ensure that as many people as possible, especially Zambians, begin businesses so that there are jobs for people like yourselves in the future. That more banks should open, more shopping centers must open, more hospitals, even private hospitals must open. There must be all these activities happening so that there's always a job for a Zambian out there, and that what we are teaching in schools and colleges and universities must be directing us towards the jobs that are needed in the country today and in the future. We want now to work very closely with the private sector, the business organizations, to say what kind of jobs will we need 20 years from today? What kind of jobs?